Habituation 101. What is habituation? How does it work? And how do I do it? So I don't know if you've ever heard of the word habituation. My clients certainly have, because I work with this technique quite a bit. Habituation is basically learning to sit with an uncomfortable feeling in your body. At least that's a very general clinical term in the psychology world. The word habituation is used differently in other contexts. But in this case, it's about an uncomfortable emotion that's happening in our body and learning to sit with it and not to do anything other than to sit with it and let the wave of the emotion ride. Another word that could be described as habituation is to contain it. If you've ever heard in the psychology world, containing an emotion, it's or you can think of it like my body, myself, I'm in a container. There's this emotion that just got activated in me that's very uncomfortable, and I just have to sit with it and contain it until the wave of that emotion rides. So that's a quick overview on what habituation is and what the process is. Now, my method is to include habituation with navigating it in your body, so you can anchor in your body where that emotion is and allow it to ride through. Three main areas that we tend to feel emotions include our stomach. That's where we often feel fear. Our chest, that's where we often feel grief. And our shoulders, neck, jaw, and fists, just kind of lumping that in one area. And that's often where we feel anger or a lot of tension or heaviness in our life. Now, these aren't set in stone concrete definitions of the body areas of emotions, but it's just a quick overview or understanding or a little bit of a guide to help you habituate. So how you want to habituate is that whatever the thought that's happening, the experience that is happening, the situation that's happening, that you are thinking about or worried about or upset about or hurt about, you want to allow that thought to be a navigation back into your body. So let me give an example. My partner and I just got into a fight, and we're taking some time off from the fight, and I can't get that fight out of my head. I can't get the words that they said out of my head. I can't get the facial features out of my head. I can't get accusations out of my head, the defensiveness, just how things went out, or I feel really guilty about how I showed up. I wish I would have said things differently, or I wish I would have just expressed another piece. I held back too much. Just all of the things that you're thinking about when it comes to the argument with your partner. Now, hold that thought in your mind's eye. It helps to close your eyes and just feel like it's a navigation system, giving your brain the task, and you can even say it out loud or just quietly to yourself. Okay, brain, I give you the task. Find where in my body am I feeling this thought. So let's say the fight with my partner, when I close my eyes and I pause the content of the fight, the content of the thought, where am I feeling it in my body? Oh, I feel it in my chest, okay? And I'm feeling tightness in my chest, and I'm feeling maybe some pain in my chest, which often may imply a panic attack. Now, if you are feeling tightness and pain, definitely go get it ruled out by a medical professional to make sure that it's not an underlying medical concern. And if that's already been ruled out, then it's highly likely that it's a panic attack. There's shortness of breath, there's grief, there's fear, there's just anger, there's just everything's involved. All the different feelings are involved with this fight that I had with my partner. And what I do is I pause the thought, I pause the experience, and I just come right into my chest. And then I breathe as though I can breathe behind the tension, behind the pain in my heart, behind the pain in my chest, as though I'm breathing inside of my own heart. It's just a practice and a method. And from there, especially when we have tension and tightness in our chest, we don't want to create extra tension or friction with that. So it has to be a very gentle breath, just a gentle expansion, a breath that you can do behind the tension that will allow you to take a deeper and bigger breath, and then allow that breath to kind of start dissolving the tension and the pain. And you may feel it move around. It could move around your shoulders, your arms, your hands, go up your neck, into your head, down your stomach. Allow it. Just give your brain the task of curiosity to see what happens when I do this habituation practice. Just be curious. It's just hard to go into the chest, then start with your belly and then move up into the chest. Find a deep belly breath, a diaphragmatic breath, and then kind of breathe it up into your chest. Very slowly, incredibly slow. This shouldn't be additional resistance or tension or discomfort on top of the already heavy feeling in your body. Now, going back to the same example, me having a fight with my partner, what if I'm afraid that everything's ending and I'm really scared, and I may end up feeling that in my stomach, like a knot in my stomach. So then I give my brain the task to pause the thought, allow it to navigate into my stomach, and then, as I just mentioned earlier, I do my diaphragmatic breathing. I'll breathe behind the knot in my stomach and visualize like a pretzel, like a knot being unraveled and untied, and see where it goes. It might move up into my chest, into my shoulders, my neck, my head, the back of my eyes, my fingertips. Sometimes it moves down my hips, into my legs. You just want to allow it to move around. The whole goal of habituation is to relax your body and allow an energy of an emotion, a discomfort of an emotion that's located somewhere in your body to just move around and then move through and out of you. At some point, it's going to dissipate and it's going to reduce. You can measure it yourself, the before and after of doing this exercise. And the coolest part of all of this is you'll stop overthinking about that thing that you just habituated. In this case, the example being the fight with my partner. Once I habituate it, I'm no longer thinking about the fight with my partner. I may start being able to tap into the solutions and what I'm ready to communicate now that I've released the stuck emotions or the uncomfortable emotions that were triggered by the initial argument that happened. So just a quick recap on habituation. Allow yourself to think about the triggering event, pause it, give your brain the task to feel it, feel the location of that trigger in your body, breathe behind it to loosen and relax that tension, and do it very gently, and just give your brain the task of being curious to see how it moves around, how it changes. And can change in many ways. It could change in texture, in temperature. If you have your eyes closed, you might see a change in color if you've given it a shape, and definitely in location. So these are some of the areas of change to get curious about to see what happens. And then overall, you should feel a lot lighter in your body and have at least resolved the emotional trigger within yourself from that original thought or that original pain point. And then you're ready to dive into a solution or a resolution of the original problem. Okay, so I would love to hear how you use this habituation technique in the comments below, and may peace be with you. I'll see you in the next video.